Hello, my name is Richard and welcome to No Pro with a GoPro. So in this second look at time lapse, I wanted to compare using a normal video and speeding it up with the use of time lapse and slowing that output file down. And I've talked about that in the earlier video about time lapse. So what I'm showing now, this is a video, just an ordinary video taken on the same route that I've been doing throughout on this time-lapse experiment, but the video speed is running at twice normal speed. So this normally takes about 3.5 minutes. So obviously with the speed that I've got it speeding up, then I've got it down to 1 minute 40 or something like that output. So you can see how it's not too jerky, it's not too bad at double speed really for this. So that's what I did to start off with. I haven't cut the video down, I'm showing the whole thing in order to give a comparison of the whole of the climb to this double speed to the whole route then on a time-lapse basis. At least this way you can't hear me puffing and panting as I'm turning the pedals over and my lungs are going hard as I finish the climb off. Here we're just coming to the top at the Ridgeway Cafe there on the right. And there we go. So now this is a time lapse. So this is using 1 frame per half second. Output the file using the GoPro Studio, but outputting it and setting the speed play down to 20. I suppose that's 20% of what the normal output speed would be, because the normal output speed for this sort of video on that 30 frames per second or thereabouts works out about 7 or 8 seconds. So we need to slow that down. And I've slowed this down at 20, so it comes out, it's slightly quicker than the 2 times normal video speed. But again, it's not too jerky. The gaps aren't that big. I think that's because using the half second. And this to me doesn't look too bad an output file with regards to watching it going forward. So just finishing off, the cafe turns up on the right again, and there we go. So that's the 2 times video, where half the length of the normal video. If we increase the video speed so it's going at 4 times, so this brings the the output file down to a little under a minute. So we're doing a 3.5 minute or so video down to less than a minute. Now you're starting to lose really the sense of actually what you're doing. This is almost going, I think, too fast. This is all about compressing long videos of long rides into shorter time scales. But I think if you watched at this speed for long, I'm not sure that would be really a comfortable experience. It's getting Benny Hill like really in the way it's speeded up. I think you could use this for short periods of time, but I don't think you'd want to watch 15 or 20 minutes of video at this speed. So I've then taken the time lapse and again sped it up now, so this is also coming through at about a minute. Now this, even though we've only been taking photographs every half second, at this speed you can't really tell that. It's not too jerky, I don't think. So that's and it seems slightly slower, I think, than the 4 times normal speed video, but still quite fast for this sort of thing. Again, it's looking at is this a way of shortening the final video for long periods of film footage without cutting things, without having to edit things out. This is ultimately what I'm looking at. And there we come to the end and the top and the cafe. So have I actually really learnt anything? To be honest, I'm not sure I necessarily have. I think the thing to bear in mind is that using the time-lapse system does, according to the information I can find on the internet, increase the battery life of the Hero 4 session. If you're videoing it, sort of a normal video, like the one that's showing now, then the battery life is typically around 2 hours. The information online seems to indicate that time-lapse photography could extend that up to about 3 hours. So if you were doing an activity, where there's constant motion and it's essential that you capture, essentially the whole activity, and you don't want to be editing on the go as it was, then the time lapse option may well be one that's worth using if you're not able to sort of stop and recharge the battery part way and you're going to go over the 2 hour limit. For me, I think for the road riding, certainly that I'm doing, I much prefer the sort of the continuous video, and I'll make use of sort of editing on the go, possibly planning which bits I want to video on the ride, beforehand, particularly some of the longer ones that I do. And also, I need to start looking at the ability to have a small sort of power battery to maybe recharge the GoPro between the bits of the ride that I want to video, or when we're stopping for drink, coffee, cake, or what have you on the ride. So there we go. Hope this has been helpful to you. Certainly I've learned a lot from doing it, so it's been good for me. If anybody's got any comments or feedback or their own experiences or different ways of doing this, I'd be really grateful. Put your comments below. Well, that's it for now, and I hope you enjoyed my latest video. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe using the button below and join in the discussion by adding your feedback in the comments section as well. See you all again soon.